Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Williams channel. Welcome to the fourth episode of the Chill Pill Podcast. Guys, as I'm recording this, it is currently 9:27 p.m. on September 15th. I know I'm so bad with this thing, guys. I swear. But part of the reason why this podcast is going out so late is I'm sure you guys have heard. I'm sure I've probably already told you guys a story for all of you who've been tuning into the live streams would now. But basically, last Sunday, I was cutting an avocado. And never cut something in your hand, guys. Just a bit of reminder. And I was cutting it in my hand. And now, usually, I don't cut the avocado in my hand. I usually have it on a counter or whatever. But that day, for some reason, I don't know if I was rushing or not paying attention, but I was cutting in my hand. Basically, I went to cut it. I missed. And I sliced almost half my finger off. Got rushed to the ER. And I got 4 stitches. So, basically, you know, your boy has been working with, without his left ring finger for the last week, and still ongoing. Like, it's hypersensitive to the touch. I can't really use his hand too much because I put a lot of strain on it, and you know, I think I hit a nerve and that affects the whole hand, so it's very hard to use this hand. So when you're editing and you're typing, it's hard. When you can barely use your left hand for like more than a minute. Right now I have it on ice, so you know, just trying to rehabilitate and heal this thing, so that way it's, you know, ready to go within the next however long it takes my body to heal it. But nonetheless, that's kind of been pushing back some of the stuff I've been trying to do on this channel for the last week. But anyway, in any event, this is the 4th episode of Chill Pill Podcast, and we have quite a few things to talk about here. These news and info might be a little outdated, and by outdated I mean by like probably a few days, but I'm sure you guys don't mind. Anyway, let's get to the first topic here. John Cena. Yes, guys. I know you haven't heard that name in a while because that guy almost doesn't even associate wrestling anymore. Let me not say that. John Cena was on Raw a few weeks ago for, what was it? The Raw reunion or whatever it was? That wasn't a few weeks. That was a few months ago. Was it? I don't know. I don't watch Raw enough to know when Raw reunion was. But he was just on Raw not too long ago. Didn't wrestle, but he was on Raw. And then before Raw reunion, he was at WrestleMania. I don't remember if he wrestled, but I do remember the whole, you know, him coming out as the Thugonomics, because I marked out super hard when that theme song in WrestleMania 35. And before that, I don't know when was the last time he actually wrestled. So, that being said, John Cena, you know, he's been making his rounds in the film industry in Hollywood. He's become Dwayne Rock Johnson 2.0 over here. You guys remember that promo, that feud from WrestleMania 28 when John Cena was talking crap on The Rock for, you know, joining Hollywood and leaving WWE. What a hypocrite he looks like now. But anyway, John Cena has joined the cast of The Suicide Squad. If you guys do not remember, Suicide Squad was a movie produced by DC. It was, I believe it was directed by Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips. It's a Todd Phillips WWE guy. Hold on, I don't remember who exactly produced it. Basically, it's a DC movie. I'm sure all of you know about Suicide Squad. That movie came out in 2016, and I remember I thought the movie was like a godsend when it first came out. I'm not gonna lie, I was totally into the movie when it first came out. You know, it had the Joker as Jared Leto and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and that's really everyone only cared about was Harley Quinn in that movie. And I thought it was so awesome. And then I watched it again, and I'm like, eh. And then I watched it again, and I'm like, okay, this movie isn't really that good. And the more and more time passed by, I started to realize that was not a good movie. And everyone else pretty much agrees that Suicide Squad was probably one of the worst movies of the DC universe. But they're going to, I don't know if this is Suicide Squad 2 or if they're remaking Suicide Squad, because Will Smith isn't even a part of this cast. So, I don't know if there's going to be no Deadshot, if they're recasting Deadshot. But, you know, there's a few names in here. Margot Robbie's returning. Idris Elba is going to be in this movie. Not Seth Rogen. What's the guy's name? Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson's going to be in this movie. That's an odd casting choice. But then at the top, the second one, you see John Cena. And the first thing I said was, so we have John Cena, who is now going to be part of because the Suicide Squad is basically part of the DCEU, which is the DC cinematic universe. And then you have Batista, Dave Bautista, who's in fucking the MCU. You know, he's part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So now John Cena's going to be joining the rival company in a sense. So they're going to be feuding again for who's going to bring in the most money. Will it be Suicide Squad 2 or will it be Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I don't know when that comes out. I think that comes out in like 2022 or something. That'll come out for a long time. But anyway, John Cena is going to be in a DCU, and I guess it's time for us to all come to grasp with the fact that he's basically done with wrestling. I don't see John Cena ever coming back full time. I don't see him ever coming back to wrestle, you know, every so often. He might wrestle maybe once a year. Maybe once. For me, John Cena is like Undertaker territory right now. I don't see him wrestling that often anymore. And you know that quote, "You're going to miss you when I'm gone. You don't know what you have until it's gone." I feel that shit so hard now. Like, you know, when I was younger, I fucking loved John Cena. Everybody loved John Cena. John Cena was the shit when you were a kid. But then when you were a teenager and you grew up and you started to realize how overpushed this guy was, and you came into the very toxic internet wrestling community, John Cena was the hateable guy. He was the guy you had to boo him. You know, John Cena sucks. All that shit. And, you know, I feel like ever since 2016, after that match with AJ Styles, I felt myself not really hating John Cena as much anymore. I still saying Cena sucks, but I didn't hate him as much after that AJ Styles match at SummerSlam 2016. Still one of my favorite matches of all time, honestly. Then 2017 came along, and he was making the motions. He was going through the motions. You could tell, like, he was wrestling a lot less. He was putting a lot of guys over. Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn. He's putting a lot of guys over in 2017, and you guys remember they had that dream feud between John Cena and Roman Reigns, and honestly I thought the No Mercy match sucked ass because it was this finisher spam the whole match. But after 2017, 2018 came around, barely saw John Cena. This year, barely see John Cena, but you see him in films like every other month. So like I said, time to come to grasp the fact that John Cena is done with wrestling. Now, I know a portion of the wrestling community is probably happy about this, but for me, I ain't gonna lie. I high-key miss John Cena. I fucking miss John Cena. I don't know what it is about the stigma that he has. Maybe it's just my inner child wanting to hear that theme song come out and him conquer over top. I mean, not, you know, fucking bury people, but conquer the day, or just him having those matches. Because it's not like John Cena was ever a bad wrestler. He was always good. Well, not always, but he was good for the last few years. Or just that change of pace, because we always get the same shit over and over again. And since John Cena's been gone for so long, maybe him coming back will just feel different. I don't know what it is, but I just miss John Cena now. And maybe WrestleMania 36 he'll come out for a match, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next time I see John Cena on Raw or SmackDown. Honestly, I would tune in for that shit. But John Cena being in DCU, you know, cool for him. I want to know what role he's going to be in Suicide Squad 2. When I hear that role, I'll let you guys know and tell you guys what I think about it. I don't think he's being recasted as Killshot or Deadshot, whatever his name is. And it wouldn't make any sense because Will Smith is black and John Cena is white. And they're not doing a blackface John Cena. So, yeah, that recasting won't work. So he's got to be the bad guy or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But getting away from that, on to our next topic. Impact Wrestling. That's a company I don't talk about a lot. I don't really ever have anything to say about Impact Wrestling unless it's me saying I don't watch Impact Wrestling. That's kind of the extent of that company for me. I have not been a fan of Impact since 2010. That was the last time I can remember ever watching Impact, maybe week to week. Then I kind of gave up on it in 2011. I haven't turned back since. They've had their run earlier in 2000s, then 2010s came around and things just started going downhill with the Dixie Carter regime, and then Sting and Hulk Hogan came in. He tried to save it, and then Hulk Hogan took over creative and fucked it all up. Then Eric Bischoff came in, he fucked it all up. Then Dixie Carter tried to make things better, she fucked it all up. Then they bounced back and forth on days of the week, Mondays, Thursdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and every single day just failed and failed and failed. And then they had their whole thing where, oh, we're moving to this network. I mean, they moved off of Spike, which was big because Spike was their baby, honestly. Move off to Spike. Then he went to another channel, that didn't work. Then he went to Pop TV, and that didn't work. Then he went to Destination America, and that didn't work. Then they went to some other channel, that didn't work. Then they went to Pursuit, and that didn't work. I think they're on Pursuit now, or we're on Pursuit, but whatever they are on now is like the worst thing for them, because no one fucking has that channel, and no one's going to go and purchase a whole network to watch the Pursuit channel, because Impact Wrestling is not that important. So they just been in the slums for years, and I know there's Impact Wrestling fans out there, but they're very, very, very minuscule. I find it very, very hard to actually find people who watch this show week to week, or just fans of Impact Wrestling overall. And it's really sad, because I hear that they have some great wrestling matches, and they have great talent. They got Jordan Grace, they got Tessa Blanchard, they got Sami Callihan, they have the Radicals or the Rascals, whatever their names are called. They have Michael Logan and Brian Cage and Johnny Impact, and they have so much great talent, and the problem is that no one cares, because for the past few years, Impact has been seen as a fucking joke. No one takes the company seriously after all the bad booking decisions and them not being able to stay put on a certain day, on a certain network. How can you take this company seriously after all the years of them trashing themselves? So I definitely see why people don't watch this, and I told you why I don't watch it. But maybe they're turning a new leaf here, because it seems like they might be on a path, maybe not to success, because that's going to take them a long ass time. They're going to have to redo and undo a lot of that bad stigma they have with a lot of people, and I don't think that might ever go away. But this move here, so Anthem is basically, owns Impact Wrestling. And Anthem, I believe, either bought out or has a share in Access TV. So now Impact is moving to Access TV, which is a much broader station than fucking the Pursuit channel. So that's great for them. They might get new viewers. If they're on a good day, they might actually get an audience of some sorts, because I know the amount of people they get on their TV's channels each and every week is below like 10,000, and that's just horrible. Horrible. I don't know how they're staying afloat. But, great move for them, and we can't at all discount the fact that, yes, I know New Japan Pro Wrestling does come on Access TV. I know, and that's what all you're going to expect me to talk about here, so let me talk about it here. Is there a potential for a partnership between Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling? I mean, nothing's impossible. I can't sit here and tell you that it's never going to happen. But it all depends on just how strong the relationship is between Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I feel like, I don't know what the relationship is between Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling. They might have a really bad relationship. I don't know. But, at one point in time, Impact Wrestling was with New Japan Pro Wrestling. They had a partnership. I mean, Okada was in Impact Wrestling, and I don't know about if you guys remember Okada, but that didn't really work out too well. Sonata was in Impact Wrestling at one point. Taiji Ishimori, the Bone Soldiers in Impact Wrestling at one point. They had some talents in Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, some of their talents. I mean, they have former New Japan stars in Impact right now, like Michael Elgin's in Impact Wrestling. There's another guy in Impact. Like, it's not like there can't be a partnership there. But until we get more information on this, because all we know is that they're coming to Access TV. We don't know the day. We don't know the time. Because from what I'm hearing, it might be Fridays right after Raw. And that is a terrible, not after Raw, after SmackDown. That's a terrible idea. Because, number one, Fridays, no, who's going to want to watch wrestling on Fridays? I'm sorry. But when I heard SmackDown moving to Fridays, I'm like, I don't already watch SmackDown, but even if I did watch SmackDown, why would I? Friday night is a night people go out and have fun. Saturday is the night where people go out and they do stuff with their friends. It's 2019. Who the hell's going to watch wrestling on a Friday night? People barely even want to watch wrestling on a damn Sunday night when the pay-per-view's on. You really think people are going to want to watch wrestling on a Friday night? Especially after 10 o'clock, where most people might be out or going to sleep? Yeah, no. And then the added fact to that is that right after SmackDown ends, it's going to be a 2-hour show, Then you get 2 hours of Impact Wrestling. You really think the average wrestling fan wants to sit through 4 hours of wrestling every single Friday? It's not happening. It's not logical. If they're smart, they'll realize that Monday's taken, Tuesday is open. They can do Tuesdays, kind of fill the void that SmackDown used to have. Wednesday is definitely, I wouldn't even dare even fantasize about going on Wednesday night because they would get trashed. Thursday is open, and then Friday's taken. So your options are Tuesdays or Thursdays, and Impact used to be on Thursday. If you ask me, what was the day I know Impact for? I would tell you it was Thursdays. So I would go back to Thursdays. I think Impact should be Thursdays, 8 to 10. I wouldn't do any later. I wouldn't do any earlier because I don't think many people will be watching wrestling on 7 p.m. People might still be at work. I would do 8 to 10 p.m. on Thursdays. I want to know what you guys think about that schedule. Or what would you do? Off of that topic, then we get into the WWE Draft. Yes, it's official. It was announced on Twitter. All the dirt sheets are talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. It's all over WWE.com. That Raw and SmackDown are going to be divided. They're going to have their own separate brand. Guys, in the last 3 years, we've had 2 drafts. We've had one draft in 2016. That was the last serious one. And that was the one where you had Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon and Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon all standing at a podiums fucking picking wrestlers for the brands. I will never, ever, 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 until the day I die, ever dispute or go against that format. I think if they're doing a draft again and they're going to be serious about it, which I highly doubt, they need to do that again, where they wipe every roster clean and they pick and choose. Hey, I want him on SmackDown. I want him on Raw. I want him on SmackDown. They need to do that. That will feel like a serious thing. Because in 2016, when they first did that draft, it was lit. Guys, that was probably one of the 2016, in my opinion, is one of the last great years in wrestling. For WWE. I don't want to say wrestling in general. But for WWE, that was one of the last great years in wrestling. You had Dean Ambrose as the WWE champion. AJ Styles was the WWE champion. AJ Styles debuted in WWE. Then the club happened. This is when the women's revolution was kind of sort of starting up, I guess. Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bayley, they were coming into their own. Asuka was on fire. Ember Moon just came in. The Iconics just started up. NXT was on fire still before dying out a year later. 2016 WWE was so fucking awesome. And the draft and Raw and SmackDown for that last half of 2016 was just the best fucking time to be a WWE fan. And even though I didn't really watch Raw and SmackDown every single week, that was probably the last year where I feel like I honestly kind of cared about what was going on Raw and SmackDown. Like, people tell me, oh my god, SmackDown was good this week. And I will go and I will watch the clips and I'll be like, okay, this is good. And then I will go and I will watch the Hulu version because I didn't feel like watching the full version. But I watched the Hulu version. I'm like, okay, this is great. I can kind of fuck with this, I never got to the point where I was that invested in the shows. But it was an easy time to actually watch and digest what's going on because the draft is always fucking interesting. You divide up a full roster. Everyone has their own championships, their own little shows, whatever. It just feels like you're watching 2 different shows except it's all under the same WWE umbrella. And I don't know if they could go back to that. They fucked it up. Once they came in with the whole, we got to get rid of the whole dueling pay-per-views, which, some people complained about. I really didn't mind it all too much, honestly. I feel like combining the pay-per-views made it feel less like a draft. But people hated it. Some people hated it, at least. Like I said, I didn't really mind it all too much. Then they started doing the whole, let's have this guy on Raw and this guy on SmackDown. It wasn't the wild card rule yet, but they were starting to trade wrestlers without really saying much. And then they started doing the Superstar Shakeups, which I fucking hated the Superstar Shakeups because they were so stupid the way they worked out. Because they started off with the podiums and I want this guy, I want that guy. Then the shakeup happened. And then it was just, hey, The Miz just appeared on Raw. He's now a Raw talent. What? What, you mean to tell me he could just show up on Raw and he's instantaneously on Raw? That's not how this works. And then it's like, oh, Dean Ambrose on SmackDown. He's a SmackDown guy. Oh, this guy's on Raw. I just hated how that all worked out. Like, they could have just... You guys remember back in the day when they had the WWE draft every single year back in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you had the graphics come up and you do the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You guys know what I'm talking about? It would flip between wrestlers, and then it would be like WWE draft, and then it would be like The Undertaker's now Raw, and then everyone pop. I want them to do that. That was so fucking great. It would hit me too hard. If they did that, I'd be down. I'd be down for like 1 week. 1 week. That's all I'm going to give you. Unless you can prove to me that you're actually serious about this. So it starts October 11th It's starting on SmackDown, which is very interesting because they're trying to make SmackDown feel important, at least for now. Because I tell you right now, once 2020 starts, SmackDown probably won't mean as much. I mean, maybe not the very beginning of 2020. I'm gonna give them to the end of 2020. Come this time next year, SmackDown won't mean shit again. I'm gonna say it. Raw has always been their baby. It will always be their baby. SmackDown will get treated like the B show in 1 year time. But for now, they're gonna treat it like the A show because they need to. Fox paid a lot of money to them. They have to. I understand that. So the draft starts on SmackDown October 11th. Then goes on to Raw October 14th. For me, everyone might be wondering, who would you draft to Raw? Who would you draft to SmackDown? Guys, I don't care. I don't care about who goes to Raw, who goes to Smack. I can't invest in W enough to care. So I'm sorry if you're wondering who I think should go to Raw and SmackDown, but I can't tell you because I don't care enough. I mean, I could tell you one guy. I think Brock Lesnar probably goes to SmackDown because they need a big name over there. And Brock Lesnar brings in the ratings for them, supposedly. So I think he might go to SmackDown. Roman, once upon a time, was on SmackDown before the damn wild card rule, so maybe he goes to SmackDown. I guess I'm kind of doing a little improvised draft now. I guess maybe if Seth drops the title tonight, he goes to SmackDown. I don't know. Braun Strowman always fucking loses when it comes to Universal Championship matches. I don't know. Stockpile SmackDown up. Give Raw some guys. I would like to see a lot of the mid-carders kind of stay on Raw, so that way they could get built up, and that way if they ever do a draft again, they feel like important guys. My thing is, put a bunch of the big guys on SmackDown, let Raw be a mid-card show for a while, because I'm telling you, in a year time, they're going to go right back to Raw, and they're going to treat that like the A show. They might even do that a little bit sooner. And if they have guys like Cedric Alexander, and Mustafa Ali, and Buddy Murphy, and The Miz, and all those guys, they have all those guys on Raw, competing for the top titles and actually treating like they mean something, guess what? People will perceive them as important. They'll want to see them on SmackDown. So I would do that. And as far as NXT call-ups, I think NXT go to 2 hours is enough. I don't think anyone from NXT should move up, honestly. At this point in time, NXT is a third brand. NXT is ECW from 2007. No one should go up to NXT no one should be moved from NXT unless you're replacing them. And if there's one guy I might send to Raw or SmackDown, I would probably say Velveteen Dream maybe, but I'm a bit skeptical on that one. But then who would you replace him with? Who would I replace Velveteen Dream with? This is off the top of my head, mind you. Velveteen Dream get replaced by Dolph Ziggler. I don't fucking know. Like I said, I don't care about the draft enough. But anyway, we're moving on to NXT. Moving to USA Network this Wednesday Night Warren stream startup. Once again, guys, starting this Wednesday, it will be going live on the Tyler-kun Williams channel every single Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Tune in for that. I can't wait. NXT Women's USA Network. It's going to be 2 hours. What are my expectations for this show? Like I said this a while ago. I was a big fan of NXT. I started watching NXT, first of all, the first 3 seasons of NXT. People don't count those as NXT because it was the game show, but I love the game show. I ain't gonna hold you. But if you talk about the real NXT around 2013, 2014, the first takeover, when it was main evented by Adrian Neville and Tyson Kidd, that's when I got into NXT. And if you ask me what was my favorite period in NXT, it was 2014 and 2015, when you had Neville, you had Bo Dallas, you had Kevin Owens, you had Hideo Itami, you had Finn Balor. Look at me, I'm getting hype. You had Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn. It was lit. It was lit. The tag team division was still going. The women's division was kind of on the rise. The women felt important on NXT because the women on Raw SmackDown treated like dog shit. But in NXT, they felt like they meant something. And that's where it all started. In NXT with Charlotte, Bayley, Becky, Sasha, Paige, Emma, Summer Rae. You could throw Alexa Bliss in there, the very green Alexa Bliss. Tinkerbell Alexa Bliss. You could throw someone else in there. It was started off with NXT. I don't want to hear this about started in NXT in 2014. So if they can recapture some of that magic they had in 2014, or just do what they do now. Apparently what they do now works. A lot of people love NXT now. Me, I don't really care too much about NXT, but I think now I might have to get it. I'm going to start getting into it because I'm going to be watching every single week. Do what you do now. But you're going to have to extend it by an hour. And that just means a lot of those guys you don't feature on NXT every week. The Dexter Lumises, the Angel Garzas, who we're seeing on NXT more often. Everyone from the Breakout Tournament, the women who you don't see, like Aaliyah, and some of the signees that you don't see anymore, or some of those guys. Feature them. I want to see Dio Madden finally debut. I fucking love that guy. He's so energetic. He's so interesting. I want to see him and Isaiah Scott tear it up. Feature the guys you don't feature now, and you will be fine. You will be fine as long as Vince does not touch this brand. Now, Triple H says Vince won't touch this brand. It's still going to be all me. We're going to see how that looks up. We're going to see how that pans out. Because they going head-to-head with AEW in October. I don't see Vince McMahon not getting involved. I don't see it. I don't know when he's going to try to get his fingers on NXT, but it probably will be soon. I don't want to jinx it. I hope it's not soon. I hope it's not ever. But he might try to get his hands on NXT soon. And if he does, it'll go downhill. But for now, we're going to picture it as this is Triple H's vision as it's always been. Triple H has done a fine job with NXT for the last few years. I'm sure he can handle it going one more hour and keeping it interesting because, once again, 2 hours is not the real time slot. NXT is really only going to be an hour and a half because there's 30 minutes of commercial breaks. So we got to take that into account. There's only an hour and a half NXT, really. As long as he can fill an hour and a half of TV with the guys he has and develop storylines and don't make it feel like I'm watching Raw Light. I don't want to feel like I'm watching SmackDown Light with the promos. I don't want to see fucking 5 promos every single week. I don't want to see these long, drawn-out feuds and rematches. I don't want to see this shit I see on Raw and SmackDown. That's the reason why I stopped watching Raw and SmackDown. What you do on NXT, keep doing it. That's really the only expectation I have is for Triple H to keep doing what he's doing. And just do it for an hour longer. And really, I mean, as far as the Wednesday Night War goes, who I think is going to win, who's going to unlock the other, I don't know. I can't tell you. It's I don't know. I'm not a genie. I'm not a what are those things called? I'm not a hand reader or mind reader. I can't tell you, NXT will outlive AEW or AEW is going to put WWE out of business. I don't know. But it's going to be an interesting time for wrestling, and I can't wait for it. That being said, moving to our next topic here. Actually, before I get into that, I will say this. If we're doing this WWE draft, and it's in October, I will list 5 wrestlers. 5 wrestlers from the main roster that you could put down in NXT. Because I know NXT, they have the roster, but if people insist that some people must go down to NXT, I got 5 wrestlers for you right now. 1 wrestler, EC3. I don't know why they moved up in the beginning, because EC3, he was hot in NXT, people loved him, he went up to the main roster, and it just seemed like right at day 1, they had nothing planned for this guy, and they treat him like dog shit from the word go, from the jump. They had nothing to do with this guy. And it's just depressing to watch him at this point. So throw him back in NXT if you're not going to do anything with him. You're not going to use him, throw him in NXT because they need more talent. They could use more talent. I mean, not say need, they could use more talent. My second person, Liv Morgan. You know, I noticed this whole, she had this match with Charlotte Flair on SmackDown, and she said she's going to come out with a bigger, better gimmick. I haven't seen Liv Morgan since then, or heard from Liv Morgan since then. If they're not going to do anything with her, send her to NXT. That's where she had her go at. Everyone remembers, yo, 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 yeah, her theme song NXT. I remember that shit. I remember her being good in NXT. But, you know, send her back. She could probably do something else. She could tear it up there. She could tear up all the women down there. Bianca Belair. You know, you got Shayna Baszler. I'm sure she's going to lose Shayna Baszler. You know, Shayna Baszler. You have Io Shirai, Candice LeRae. There's some women I think Liv Morgan has some good matches with down there. Next up, I would say Chad Gable, and I know everyone's saying, "Oh, Chad Gable was in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, and they got nope. If you think Chad Gable's winning this tournament, your ass is confused, and you I don't know what to tell you. He is not winning this tournament. It's going to be Baron Corbin, and as soon as Chad Gable loses, he's going to be put right back into irrelevancy because that's what WWE does with these people. So once he loses, send his ass to NXT, where he was once a prodigy. NXT, him and Jason Jordan, they were probably one of my favorite acts in NXT. Send him back. Please. I want to see him and Johnny Gargano. I want to see him and Adam Cole. I want to see him and Jordan Miles. I want to see Chad Gable fuck it up in NXT because he used to fuck it up in NXT all the time. He went to the main roster with Jason Jordan. He had a good tag team run, but then Jason Jordan got hurt. I don't know what's going on with that guy. I don't know if he's ever coming back or not. But if he's not, move Chad Gable back to NXT. They can do something with him. B Team. I know I said 5 people, but I'm gonna say B Team in here. Put a tag team down there. They never do anything with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, and I don't think they ever will. Honestly, I don't think they ever will do anything with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Once upon a time, Bo Dallas, NXT champion. He started his Bo Leave. He started that gimmick down in NXT. That was like over. It was a heel gimmick, but it was over. Curtis Axel, he was in NXT for a hot minute. Wasn't like the most deliberate guy, but he was down there for a hot minute. I remember Curtis Axel in NXT. I say send him back down there in that tag division. NXT has some of the best tag matches you will ever see. Ever. I think Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, they have the potential to have great tag matches. We don't see it often because they're very limited. In NXT, you could do just a little bit more. There's a little more leeway down there. So throw Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel down there. You know, you could give Bo Dallas his gimmick back or keep him with the same gimmick. Or Curtis Axel, I don't know what his gimmick was before then. I think he was doing the whole Mr. Perfect thing. I don't know. Reinvigorate these guys. Have them do something different. And last but not least, Rusev. And you can throw Lana in there too. I don't know what they're doing. I feel like ever since you know WrestleMania, Rusev has just been a dead horse. They don't use this guy at all. I don't hear anything about Rusev. I don't see Rusev. I see his tweets, but I don't see his face on Raw or SmackDown. And I don't think they're ever going to push Rusev to the level he was at Rusev Day ever again. Rusev probably will leave WWE when his contract ends. So if they want to salvage that guy and they don't want him to leave, send him to NXT where he might be a little bit happier. Tyler Breeze is down there. Fandango's down there. Just send Rusev down there. I wouldn't mind. I would love to see Rusev back in NXT. Lana has never been a good wrestler. I'm sorry. I don't know if there's any Lana stands out there. I'm sorry, but your girl was never good to begin with. She should have been in NXT from the jump, but she never was. So send Lana down there to train with some of the greats in NXT in the Performance Center so she can get better, and then maybe you can send her back to Raw and SmackDown. You could do the same with Dana Brooke too, honestly, because she's never been that good either. But either way, BT, Chad Gable, EC3, Liv Morgan, Rusev, Lana, I would send them back to NXT. That's just me. Then we get into Progress Wrestling Chapter 95. For all of you who don't know about Progress Wrestling, it's a British wrestling company. They're partnered with WWE right now, so you're probably gonna hear about them a lot more as the network, gets their tiers. I'm sure you're gonna hear about them a lot more. But this time last year, they had a show called Hello Wembley. I watched that show. I instantly fell in love with Progress Wrestling. instantly fell in love with it. I mean, before that, I went to Progress Wrestling Show Philadelphia, but I instantly fell in love with Progress after the Philadelphia show and the Hell of Wembley show. I haven't watched them much since, but it seems like September is always kind of the WrestleMania period, so I said, okay, I'm going to check out Chapter 95 for their quote-unquote WrestleMania. So let me preview their card, because I know it just happened today. And I'm going to try my best to avoid spoilers until next week when the show goes up on their YouTube channel. I mean, on their channel or whatever. But anyway, let me look at this card real quick and let you guys know on these matches. So the first match we have here is Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate versus the Limitless Bros, Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. Bro. That's going to be a fucking dope-ass match. I never knew I wanted to see Tyler Bate versus Matt Riddle until today. That match, that singles match, sounds like it's on a whole different planet, and I'm going to travel there, and I'm going to watch it. And I might die because I can't breathe out in outer space, but I'll be there for it. And then I don't know. That's going to be a great match. I'm going to go with Mustache Mountain because they're kind of the founding fathers of the progress, honestly. Because when you think about Progress, you think about Mustache Mountain, you think about Jimmy Havoc, you think about Will Ospreay. I don't see them losing to the Limitless Bros, honestly. It's kind of their territory. Then we have the Pertuis Rumble, a 30-person, not man, a 30-person battle royal to crown Progress's first ever Pertuis champion. I don't think I'm Protus. I think it's Teus. I think it's Protuis, but I might be spelling it wrong. Some of the participants confirmed for this match are Danny Luna, Rory Johnson, Paul Robinson, Chikara, South Pacific Power Trip, Do Not Resuscitate, they're a faction, Millie McKenzie, remember I said person, there's a woman in here, Sugar Dunkerton, Los Federales, Santos Jr., Chief Deputy Dunn, who is Pete Dunne's brother, Eddie Kingston, Charlie Evans, Lucky Kid, Connor Mills, and Ilya Dragunov. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of Ilya Dragunov. Way before his match with Cesaro, I'm a huge fan of Ilya. So I'm going to peg Ilya to win this match. I'm going to peg Ilya to win the championship. Or it might be a surprise entrance. Who knows? Then when we get into the next match, the Progress Women's Championship is on the line. Jordynne Grace versus Meiko Satomura. If you guys remember last year's Mae Young Classic, Meiko Satomura made it all the way to the semifinal rounds up until losing, I believe, to Toni Storm in the semifinal rounds. She fucking killed. She was the highlight of that entire tournament last year. And I think this match is going to fucking slay. Because Jordynne Grace is a great talent. They're going to make some magic. I'm going to go with Meiko Satomura to defeat Jordynne Grace for the Progress Women's Championship. Jordynne Grace's impact comes to XX TV. I don't know if they're going to have stricter contracts or whatever. But I feel like she probably might be used more outside of Progress. Because she got to travel all the way to the UK every single time she was defending that title. So I think she loses the title to Meiko. And we have a new women's champion at the end of the night. Then we get into the tag team title match between the Grizzled Young Veterans, Zach Gibson and James Drake, who are the current, well, used to be, NXT UK Tag Team Champions, versus Aussie Open, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher. Last year, these two were in a clusterfuck tag team match. It featured like 8 or 9 different tag teams. It was one of the craziest matches I've ever seen in my entire life. Go watch it. It's on Progress's YouTube channel from their Hell of Wembley show. You would be amazed by all the tag team dynamic and finishers and moves you'll see in that match. I swear to you. But if this match is an indication, it's going to be great. I'm going to go Aussie Open to become the new tag team champions. Then we get into the main event. The Progress World Championship is on the line. Volta versus David Starr. They've had, I don't know how many matches they've had in the past. But David Starr has not beaten Walter once. Not once. Walter has beaten David Starr every single time. And the question is today that day? Is David Starr finally going to defeat Volta? As much as I want to say he will, I don't think so. I think Walter retains. I don't know who he drops it to, honestly. Walter's been holding on to that world title for a long-ass time. I don't know who he drops it to, but I have a feeling it won't be David Starr. I wanted to. I love David Starr. David Starr's one of my favorite independent wrestlers right now. Maybe ever. But, I don't know. Something's telling me that Walter retains. Because he always does. He always beats David Starr. And today's not the day. If it is, I'll be happy, but I don't know. Anyway, that's my predictions for Progress Chapter 95. Look out for my review for that show coming next week. Then we get into our last topic here, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Destruction Tour. Now, this review was going to go out earlier today, but since it went out later, I already did my review for Destruction in Beppu. You guys can go check that review out on link in the description down below or on my channel if you're on it or going to be on it soon. Go to my channel, go listen to the review I did for the match for Zack Sabre Jr. versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. But let's get into the cards for Kagoshima happening tomorrow. We have the Young Lions Cup. We have Yuya Uemura versus Clark Connors. Clark Connors has 6 points, I believe. Yuya is at 0. I think you got to give Yuya a win at some point. So I'm going to go with Yuya Uemura to win this match. Ren Narita versus Michael Richards is up next. Narita has he's gotta be up there. He ain't winning, but he gotta be up there with his boy Umino at some point. So I'm gonna go with Narita win this match. We have a tag match between Yota Tsuji, Shota Umino, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Yuji Nagata versus Alex Coughlin, Carl Fredericks, Toa Henare, and Munabu Nakanishi. I'm gonna go with Shota Umino to pin Carl Fredericks and add tension to their match in Kobe. Because if Umino gets the pin over Fredericks, then obviously Carl Fredericks will win his match against Umino. But we shall see in my predictions later. Then we get to the fourth match on the card. Yo and Sho Roppongi 3K teaming up with Yoshihashi and Tomohiro Ishii versus Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa. Tama Tonga and Tangaloa retained the tag team titles against Ishii and Yoshihashi earlier today. I think they're going to beat Yoshihashi, Nishi, and Roppongi 3K right there because I don't need to see another tag team match between these two men, honestly. Then we get to the fifth match. Jushin Thunder Liger, Tomoki Omna, Togi Makabe, and the Ace Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Doki, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Minoru Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr. Tanahashi and Zack Sabre Jr. just cannot fucking escape each other for their life. It seems like I'm going to go with Suzuki to win this match. And hopefully, we don't get ZSJ versus Tanahashi at King of Pro Wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm done with that feud. I'm not watching it if we get another match. I said it before. I'll say it again. Then we get to the next match. Rocky Romero, Hiroki Goto, and Kazuchika Okada versus Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Sonata. I'm going to go with Chaos to win this match. Because why not? Then we got Evil and Naito versus Yujiro Takahashi and Jay White. So they're only subbing out Chase Owens for Yujiro Takahashi. But we're going to see more Tetsuya Naito Jay White interactions for their match at Kobe. So that's going to be gold. I'm going to go with Jay White to win this match. He's going to pin Evil. Add more tension. Then we get to the co-main event. The junior heavyweight tag team titles are on the line as El Fantasmo and Taiji Ishimori go up against Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay, the Birds of Prey. As much as I would like to see Robbie Eagles win the tag titles here, his partner should not be Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay has been in enough this year. He's been in New Japan Cup. He's been in BOSJ. He's been in the G1. He's been in the Super J Cup. He's held in the Junior Heavyweight Championship. He doesn't need to win the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles, so I'm going to go with El Fantasma and Taiji Ishimori. And if he does win the Tag Team titles tomorrow, I'm not even going to lie, I'm going to be a little mad if Will Ospreay is holding both the Junior Heavyweight and Singles title. Then we get to the main event. Kota Ibushi defends his G1 Climax briefcase against Kenta. The rematch from G1 Climax. You know, some people actually have Kenta pegged to win this, and they're delusional because Kota Ibushi retains the briefcase. Kota Ibushi is not losing that briefcase to Kenta, who is currently the Neverweight champion. You really think they're going to incorporate a second title, a third title into the whole, oh, there might be a unification between the Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship. They're not going to incorporate the Neverweight Championship into that, because at that point you would have to. If Kenta is the briefcase holder and he's the Neverweight Champion, you cannot sit here and tell me that they would not incorporate that championship into the mix. It would be impossible unless you have Kenta drop the title at King of Pro Wrestling to Yoshihashi, which I don't think is happening. So I'm going to go with Kota Ibushi retain the briefcase here. If for nothing else, because Kota Ibushi deserves to be in the main event of the Tokyo Dome with Okada. Then we get to Destruction in Kobe on September 22nd. We have a tag team match between Yuya Uemura, Ryota Tsuji, and Yuji Nagata versus Michael Richards, Alex Coughlin, and Munabu Nakanishi. I'm going to go with Team Nakanishi for no reason whatsoever. Then we get into the next match. Shota Umino versus Carl Fredericks. I determined that this will be basically the winner of this match will win the entire cup. I'm going to go with Shota Umino. Shota Umino is my favorite young lion. He's been my favorite young lion for the last 2 years. He will never not be my favorite young lion as long as I live. And as much as I am really impressed by Carl Fredericks in this tournament, outside of this tournament, I think Shota Umino, with all the fanfare he has from Jon Moxley, wins this tournament and goes on excursion. So I'm going to pick Shota Umino to win this match. Then we have Renarita versus Clark Connors, which won't really matter, but I'm going to go with Renarita to win. Fourth match, we have Toa Hanoi, Tomoka Yomna, and Togi Makabe versus Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, and Bad Luck Fale. I'm going to go with Team Makabe, because why not? Then we have another match. Rocky Romero, Tiger Mask, Jushin Liger, and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Doki, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Minoru Suzuki, and Taichi. Ha! You thought it was going to be Taichi? Of course! It's Zack Sabre Jr. because Tanahashi and Zack Sabre Jr. are fucking insufferable. They're like a married couple that won't get a divorce because they have to take care of their kids and they don't want the kids to go through the process. So they have to stick together no matter what. Through thick and thin. I'm going to go with Suzuki Yun again. Just keep on beating Tanahashi to the point where there will be no rematch. Then we get into the sixth match. Will Ospreay, Robbie Eagles, Yoshihashi, Tomoichi, and Kota Ibushi versus El Fantasmo, Taiji Ishimori, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Kenta. I hate 10-man tags. Too many men in one match. My ADHD goes over, damn place. I'm going to go with Chaos to win that match. Then we get into the seventh match. Sho and Yo and Kazuchika Okada versus Evil, Bushi, and Sanada of LIJ. I'm going to go with... This is the last show, I assume, before King of Pro Wrestling. So I'm going to say that Sanada gets the pin over maybe submission victory over maybe like Yo or somebody. I think LIJ wins that. Then the co-main event, we have Hiroki Goto versus Shingo Takagi. Just a special singles match, nothing special. They're going to have a kick-ass match. I'm going to go with Shingo to win. I think Shingo should contend for that Neverweight Championship at the end of the year, no matter who it is. So I think Shingo wins this match. And then, in the main event, we have Tetsuya Naito versus Jay White. I think whoever wins this match will go up against the winner of the match between Okada and Ibushi on the second night of Wrestle Kingdom, and will contend for both titles. And that man is Tetsuya Naito. As much as I would love to see Jay White as IC champion, I think it's too early. He just held the Heavyweight Championship earlier this year. He doesn't need the IC title this early. I think everyone wants to see the whole Naito redemption story. Everyone wants to see it. Everyone wants to see finally Naito get christened as the double champion, and whether it be against Ibushi or Okada. We're probably going to get it. I hope we're going to get it this year, so that way all the LIJ fans can finally shut up about it. I've never been big enough of a Naito fan to see it myself, but I want to see it just so the LIJ fans can finally shut up. So, for that reason, I think Naito wins this match, and he retains the IC title. And at the end of the show, he announces that, yes, I'll put my title on the line against whoever wins Ibushi versus Okada at the Tokyo Dome. Because no, Sanada will not beat Okada, you drunk ass motherfuckers who had to expect that shit to happen. And yeah, guys, that was Chill Pill Podcast episode 4. Comment down below. What did you guys think of this episode? Comment down below, ask me some questions, because on the 5th episode, which I don't know what exactly is going to happen, but on the 5th episode of the Chill Pill Podcast, I'm going to do a little mailbag at the end of the video. So comment down below any questions you guys have. I'll answer them in episode 5. Thank y'all for listening again. I love you guys always, and I will see you all later. Peace out, guys.